So you've been in the league a long time, Morgan. Could you describe what yesterday was like, and could you compare it to anything you've experienced before?
The special thing about being in the league for 11 years, every year is different. Yesterday was unique. Obviously finding out the news and just kind of rallying around the guys, man. It was a different type of day, but I think with the platform that we were given yesterday, with the space to be able to have mental capacity and really just talk to one another as teammates, was the best decision that we could make as a team yesterday.
How does that help when you have like players only meetings and team meetings and leadership council meetings? It's a lot of meetings. Like what sort of is the theme?
Yeah, definitely, obviously it caught a lot of people off guard yesterday, obviously being 5 games in. But those player-led meetings and leadership meetings were just, to emphasize to the guys, older, younger, veterans, whatever you want to call it, that every goal that we set out to achieve this year is still right in front of us, we like CJ had said earlier, you look back at these 2 games that we've lost in a row, at a margin of 9 points altogether, and you look back and say that there's a lot of plays that individually that we can make, as an offense, as a defense, as special teams, that get us out of that rut. And you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do to prepare myself a little bit better? What can I do to change the aura of taking the field on Sundays? We're blessed to be able to take this field every Sunday, Monday and Thursday, whatever the case is, and we have to be able to capitalize on that opportunity no matter what the circumstances are.
Morgan, how did you find out, and how would you describe the overall mood of the team right now?
I found out I was working out, and obviously the alert came through my phone. But the mood of the team is, obviously we're given, we have the day off to kind of process. We have a unique week, having an extra day, not playing until Monday allows us to, come in yesterday with the news, sit down as a team, and talk about the goals that we want to achieve and still in front of us. We go out here on Monday night, and this is going to be a special night. We win this game, we take first place. But even if anything else happens, everything that we set goals for in OTAs when we first put this thing together, when Coach Sala put this team together, are still in front of us. And so we have to look ourselves in the mirror and understand that changes happen. We live and work in a production business, and so if you're not producing on those days, this is what happens, and it's not to pinpoint one person or this person or that person. It's a collective group. When we take that field on Sunday, it doesn't just say Morgan Moses. It says the New York Jets. We're a family. We're a team, and when you have situations like this, man, it brings you a lot closer together as a unit, and that's what yesterday was for us.
Morgan, you mentioned change. Aaron also talked today about supporting whatever Brooke decides in terms of changes on offense. Have you guys been told who will call plays offensively for this weekend going forward?
No, we haven't. But just being a veteran guy, and just being in multiple systems, it doesn't matter what play is called or who's calling plays. Man, it's up to us as individuals to go out there and make those plays. We get paid to play a lovely game of football every day, and I always use this slogan, we play a child's game for a king's ransom. And so it doesn't matter if we're calling go balls every play. It's our job to come down with that ball. It doesn't matter, if they're loading the box in the run game. It's our job to block it correctly, to spring our running back for some yardage. And it takes all 11 to do that. It takes all, I'll say 12. It takes the offensive coordinator to call the play, the quarterback to get us in the right look, the offensive line and the tight ends to gel, and the receivers to block on the edge. And it's a team sport. And until you can look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm going to be accountable to the little details, you can't ask for bigger things to come. And so for us right now is just to go back to the drawing board as individual players, as units, and see what we can do better and what we can get better at and challenge ourselves that way.
DJ, thanks for doing this on your day off. Appreciate it.
No problem.
I guess the obvious question is like, how did you find out yesterday, and what was your initial reaction?
I pretty much found out when the news broke. I was in yesterday morning for a little treatment, and I saw the news break on my phone. And I think, like everybody else, just pretty shocked. Didn't expect it at all. So that was really it. We took time to to process what happened between each other. We had individuals meetings. We had a team meeting, a player-led meeting before, just to kind of get everybody's thoughts, because we wanted to be open about the situation because it was just so raw at that time. But we just wanted to make sure that we kind of took the time to really just reflect on what had happened, so to let guys really express their emotions.
So you had because Aaron was just talking on McAfee. He said there was a leadership council meeting, and then there was a players only meeting after, like, the entire team after that, and then there was a meeting with Brick, is what you're saying, or did I screw that up?
Yes, you're correct. So it was a leadership meeting, kind of going over what had just happened. Then we decided to do a players only meeting, then a team meeting with Coach Brick, and then we all had our individual meetings with our group.
How does that help? Like, when you guys verbalize, when you have all those meetings, like, in what ways can that help go through a process like that?
I may just give multiple opportunities for anybody to express how they felt. If you want to, if you want to keep those things bottled in, some guys can do that, but at some point, that's going to sink in, whether it's mentally or in your game or whatever aspect that is. So it was just, opportunities for if anybody wants to say anything as far as how they felt as a player, how they felt about the decision, what they were feeling just in general, anything. The guys just had the opportunity to do that. So it was just a moment where, guys could be vulnerable and really, say what they felt and what they, still wanted to accomplish, going on. So that was the main thing.
CJ, what
CJ,
was that stood out to you in the players only meeting, and as a leader of the team, what did you tell the team, or what was your message?
Well, I would say the main thing that I heard a lot yesterday was accountability. So I think that's what we have to keep in mind going forward. We all have to be accountable every single day that we come to the building, every single day that we wake up, and every decision that's made within our organization, especially with our team. We all have to take some type of accountability. So whether it's good, bad, or in between, that's what this is always about. So I think this was definitely a wake-up call and an eye-opener for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, like I said, we all have to take some type of accountability on how we cannot let this, stop us for achieving our goal, but also make sure that we don't let something like this happen again.
CJ, can you describe what Brick is like as a leader, and why you think he's ready for this moment?
He's an ultimate competitor. Just working with him every day, going through the battles that we've been through these last 4 years. I know what makes him tick. I know his story, I know his why, I know his family. So when you know somebody that intimately, you naturally want to perform at your best for him, and you want to, do things to, make him proud. So he's just one of those coaches that brings that out of you every single day. Even when you're tired, even when he's tired, he finds a way to motivate, our defensive staff and our defensive room every day.
CJ, a day later, just what's the overall vibe among your teammates, and how do you move forward from here? What are the expectations, and how does this change things?
I would say yesterday was like the most we were all together, because today, we're off. So some guys go in and get treatment and, recovery. So I think that's really why we wanted to have those type of meetings, so we can really, express how we felt, and for guys to, just process for these next 2 days that we've had. So tomorrow, will really be like our first day together after, all this happened so far. So, we'll see. But, like I said, we have to just make sure that we stay focused, even though this has happened. We have 100% trust and support with Brick, and so does the coaching staff. So I mean, at the end of the day, our goal remains the same. So I mean, that's how we have to approach it, because this is a business at the end of the day.
CJ, you don't often see a head coach get fired after only 5 games into a season. Did you feel it was? Did you think it was too short a leash for Saleh?
I'm not sure. I'll just go back to what I said about accountability. When you get the news and you think about it, only thing I come up with, how could I have done better? Me missing these last few games, that played in my head. So I always think about, what can I do to, make things right, or could have done better. So, he's the reason that we're in this position today, man. Most of this team is, it's coming from, his choice and what he saw and what he believed in players that we have on this team, some household names that we're going to hopefully keep this Jets organization going for a long time. So a lot of credit goes to Coach Saleh. He didn't have to take a second chance on me coming back to the Jets when he came here, but he did, and he challenged me to be a great linebacker in his defense, because he told me at one point that he wasn't sure if I could fit with this defense because of my style of play with the Ravens. So things like that. He challenged me that day, and every single day that I came here for work, I wanted to be one of the best linebackers in this system. So a lot of things that he's done, that the stories he's told, the hard losses and the great wins that we've had together, it's built us. It's built this mindset of this team. So we definitely have to keep it going.
CJ, sometimes we see around the league when an offense isn't functioning at a high level, talented defense can drop in its level. How did Robert help keep you guys motivated and working at a high level, and how has Brick helped with that?
I would just say with his mentality, one of his messages last week was, just keep swinging. And, that's just what you have to do. Things happen in football. You can go down fast, you can go up quick, but, at the end of the day, if you keep fighting, you keep swinging, at some point, you're going to get yourself back in the game to be able to win it. So that was most of his mentality a lot of times. So I think that's really what we have to do. Just obviously a tough transition, tough start of the week, but the season will go on, and outside of the Jets fan and us, nobody really cares about what's going on in our building. So you have to be ready, and you have to have the right mentality coming into this week.
Take a couple more for CJ.
CJ, you keep mentioning the word accountability, and I'm sure you saw the Quincy Williams TV clip from after the game in the locker room where he discussed the accountability, and obviously he felt it was lacking. Do you think team-wide it's been lacking?
No, I don't. Quincy is an emotional player on the field and off the field, and I mean that in a great way. When he doesn't think something's going right, or he sees something not going right, he's going to express it. When he feels, we're not playing up to our standard, when he feels he's not playing up to a standard, he's going to express it. So I would say, even talking to him, he was mainly talking to himself about taking accountability. These few games that I've been out, it's been really cool just watching, my linebacker group, the BMF group, like really work together and really get in some valuable play time and be in some great situations in their young career. So Quincy, had a moment this past game where it's time for him to take some leadership, but in his own words, he felt he wasn't accountable enough, and he didn't lead at the right time in that moment. So I think it was coming from a great place, what he talked about, but he definitely wants to take more accountability in himself as being the leader, and making sure that we all have that same mentality every single day.
CJ, can you speak to how important you think this moment is for this team and this organization after this change, and what is on the horizon with the Bills coming to town Monday night and you guys being just a game out of first place, despite not playing to your expectations or standards?
Well, to start off with the Bills, I would assume that they're smelling blood right now. So I'm sure they're getting ready to play a great game Monday night. So I won't expect nothing less. But as far as us, this is a opportunity for us to understand, what has happened. This type of things are real. Like, this is what this business can be about if it happens. But don't be scared of this moment. We had a crack in our foundation. It might have had some trickle down effect, but it won't tear down our house if we build it back up right. If we seal it up the right way. If we don't try to patch around things and let it go by, let it trickle down a few years later, then we're going to be back in the same boat. So this is a moment for us to all, link up, all be strong together, all have more faith in each other, us to hold more accountability, all those words you want to put in front of it. But, we have to be those people, and we have to stay strong for each other, and we have to get ready for more tests because it's coming.
Hey, Thomas, how you doing? Thanks for doing this.
Yep.
So, as a member of the council, I guess you guys had meetings yesterday, and were you shocked when you first got the news? How did you get it, and how did you process it?
My neighbor Mark texted me and told me. That's how I found out, and yeah, I was very surprised.
Would you say that was the prevailing reaction among teammates?
Yeah, I would definitely say that everybody was pretty surprised, at least from who I've spoken with, so yeah.
Thomas, when something like this happens, what do y'all discuss as leadership council when you get to that players only meeting? What are the conversations like?
Number one, I think just letting guys have a chance to get whatever they're thinking off their chest. It's not a time to, I think when something like this happens, there can be like this walking on eggshells type of feeling. And I don't think that is conducive to us being successful. And so it just gives everybody a chance to voice frustration, get something off their chest. I think as leaders, we wanted to kind of provide a clear, set of priorities and directives as a team. And we just all kind of, guys had a chance to stand up and all say what they wanted to say. When something like this happens, there's a natural instability that happens. Coach Sala has handpicked so many of the guys that are on this team, and so that can create a discomfort for any player individually with where they're at in their career and how they sit, if they're a free agent to be, or if they're, that was one of his guys and now he's not here. So those are all natural things. They're also realities of the situation. And I think just giving everybody a chance to kind of process it and, like I said, as leaders, kind of lay out a clear path and, a list of priorities of what we need to do as players to take accountability. It's a great reminder that, we hold each other's careers in our hands, so to speak. And, accountability is not just for players, it's for coaches, and everybody's got a boss that they have to answer to, right? And so I take that personally. I think Coach Sala and Brant Boyer, took a chance on bringing me back here. Could easily, it would be easy to not do that since I was the oldest guy in the league at my position, and they took a chance on me, and I take that personally, right? They kind of took a chance, and I just I think it's a great reminder for all players that we're not just playing for ourselves, right? We're playing for each other. We're playing for our coaches. We're all in this thing together, and we're all helping provide for each other's families. And so I feel like I'm droning on there, but I think I answered your question.
Thomas, oftentimes when this sort of thing happens, the coach gets to address the team, say goodbye to the team as a group, which obviously did not happen with Robert. And I guess he wanted to, but what didn't. Are you surprised that he wasn't able to address the team one last time?
I don't know that I'm surprised or not surprised. This is my first time going through something like this. It's tons of players that have gotten cut over my time that they're handed a trash bag, and before you get out of your meeting, you show up and their locker's empty. And so it's a unique business in that way. You develop certain relationships with players and coaches that are different than others, and I had a chance to talk with Coach Sala last night and just check on him, see how he's doing. I remember getting cut here 3 years ago after having a really nice stint, and it didn't work out for me. So I've been there. I know what it feels like. Living in New Orleans, getting cut after 12 years, and having my home there and my family all there. that was really a devastating thing for me. So we kind of talked about that, and it's it's just a tough thing. It's a reminder that this business, we're in the business of winning, and it's a healthy reminder, I think, for everybody.
Thomas, you mentioned you first found out from your neighbor, but is that something that when the team first addresses you guys, do you hear from Woody? Do you hear from Joe? Do you hear from Greg? How did the team first tell you guys?
Just with our leadership council meeting, Woody and Chris let us know that they had made the decision, which we already had all found out, but they felt like they wanted to let us know in person, and then we had a chance to speak with Brick, and he had just found out, so there was nothing prepared. It was just kind of an experience that I've never had before, so that's how that went.
Are there any more questions for Thomas?
Thomas, I'm not sure if you guys practiced today or what exactly happened, given they all are playing Monday, but take us through what the team mentality was like today compared to yesterday and how you go about preparing for Monday night.
So today's an off day. Today's a typical Tuesday, even though it's Wednesday, just because we're a day behind with the schedule. So, just came up here to do this. I thought it was important, and I think a lot of the other guys thought it was important to kind of answer some questions prior to us starting the week. I think, obviously this will be a week long or longer sort of set of questions that guys will be getting asked to answer. But I think as a team, when we show up tomorrow, it's really a big deal to be all of our energies pointed towards beating the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. And so I thought it was important, and I think these guys did as well, to kind of answer some of these questions and try to start the process of directing our energies just at how do we win on Monday, because that's where we're at. We're in the business of winning, and we need to we all need to get it done this week.
Thomas, can you speak to who Brick is as a leader, and also how you think he's going to attack this?
Look, I remember having a conversation with Brick last year and asking how he ran his defensive meetings, and he said, "Hey, man, you're part of the defense. You help set us up before we go out there. So, if you would love to have you come sit in our night before the game meeting." And so I did that for the rest of the last season, and at one point he even had me. I got a chance to speak to the guys, which was really cool. I think the things that I appreciate about Brick is, number one, he played the game at the highest level. He knows what it's like to be a player in this league. And I think he has some guys, when they're done playing, they're not ready. Most guys aren't ready to be done playing if they really love the game. And he still has kind of a player's passion for the game. And you can see that with how he talks to the guys. I hope he's just who he's always been. I think as a coach, if you're authentic, there's lots of different personalities that can win, and as long as you're yourself, just like a player in the locker room. If you're not authentic, you'll kind of get found out, and people just want to know that the person they're dealing with is the real you. And so hopefully he doesn't change a bit as far as who he is as a person, and it's an awesome opportunity for him. I know it's not the way he was hoping to get a head coaching opportunity, but it is an awesome opportunity for him, and as somebody that cares for him, I really hope we have success for him and make Woody look right for the decision he's made.
How would you describe the last 36 hours?
It's my first time dealing with, something like this. And, I think the first thing that kind of comes to mind is just you have a heavy heart, right? Like a lot of people, a lot of us have talked about it's a production business, and as a group we haven't been producing, and Coach Sala ended up having to take the fall for that, and it just affects not just him but his family and so many people around him that you have a heavy heart for him and what him and his family are going through. So I think that's kind of one of the main things you kind of think about, and then it's just we got to time's not waiting for anybody. We got to get back on track, and we got a game on Monday night, so it's time to get ready to play a game again.
A couple of the guys especially CJ was talking about accountability being a popular word yesterday through all these meetings and so forth. So Tyler, I was just wondering, do you think it had been lacking in the locker room up until yesterday?
I don't think it's been lacking, but I think it's something anybody can do, whether you play football, whether you're just, no matter what you do, what your job is, just as a person. Like, we can all look in the mirror and be accountable and figure out ways to get better as an individual, as a husband, as a father, as a whatever it may be. So I don't think it's something that's lacking, but I do think that it's just something that it just made us, it makes us all look inward when something like that happens, right? Because it falls on all of us. Like, yeah, the big news is Coach Sala got fired, but it's really, because of the lack of production we've had and the underachieving we've done so far throughout this season, right? So, I think that's kind of where a lot of the accountability comes in. And, I'd say that's probably the main thing when it comes to accountability.
Aaron obviously is the oldest, most experienced guy on the team and plays the leadership position. Did he speak at the players only meeting? Did he share any thoughts with the team?
Yeah, like people have said, right? We had a leadership meeting with Woody and Chris first, and then we shortly got to talk to Brick, and then we go to our our players only meeting. I think it's a little different players only meeting, right? A lot of times you're having a players only meeting in week 10, and things are really bad, and you're kind of hitting the panic button. I think with everything that happened, and it being week 5 and having the whole season in front of us. And it being such an interesting day with everything that happened, it was more so us, getting together as a group and coming together and being on the same page and, kind of locking arms and acknowledging that we have everything that we want still in front of us, and also acknowledging and being accountable that we need to, perform better and be better. And, that's, a lot of stuff that Aaron hit on and Morgan hit on and Thomas and a lot of guys. So, accountability has been, was a big thing that Aaron talked about, and, that's probably that.
How did you find out?
I was in the training room. I was in the training room, and somebody texted me. Well, a bunch of people started texting me, and then we all kind of started looking at each other and found out, at pretty similar times.
Tyler, you talked about the lack of production. Woody, Brick, Aaron all talked about needing to see changes on the offense. How do you expect those changes to come, or what do you expect to change in the offensive game?
Honestly, I have no idea. That's above my pay grade. I'm gonna go out there every day in practice, every day in every game, and do my best to whatever is asked of me. I have no idea what's going to change, if anything's going to change. Besides the fact that I know we're going to figure out a way to get this thing moving in the right direction, I know that's going to change. But besides that, I try not to, put too much thought into things that I don't have control over.
What's your expectations of Breck in this new role?
I'm excited for him, right? It's obviously not the way that you don't want to see one of your best friends and whatnot, lose their job. It's not the way I'm sure he wanted to get his first head coaching debut, but I'm excited for him. Like a lot of people have talked about, he played the game for a long time. He's a great man. He commands the room. You have a lot of respect for him. He's also super personable. You feel you can go to him about anything. I'm excited for his opportunity.
One of the things Aaron just addressed on McAfee was trying to dispel the perception, for lack of a better word, that he had some sort of influence or input into the decision to dismiss Robert. I'm wondering if he addressed that with you guys to try to clear the air, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think anybody inside the building thought that had anything to do with it, right? I think that was kind of an outside perception of Aaron having some kind of control over those decisions. I don't think anybody inside this building, player-wise or anything, thought that he had anything to do with that. I honestly truly believe that Aaron probably took this harder than almost anybody. Like, one of the main reasons he came here was because of Coach Sala and Coach Hackett and the roster they assembled and what Coach Sala built here. So I can't. It's not true at all. So that's all I got.
How did he take? How could you tell that he took it the hardest?
I mean, it's just, I mean, everybody was kind of not sure how to process it, but you could just tell that it weighed heavy on him. And just from talking to him, like I said, he came here because of his belief in Coach Sala.
Can you speak to how important this role, this week is in terms of handling the transition and then also getting prepared for a huge divisional game against the Bills? You guys are one game behind them in the standings.
Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy part about the business, right? Like, you have a whirlwind, everything that just happened over the last couple hours, and, you know, now we're right back into it and practice tomorrow and get ready for a game. And I think it really just comes down to us as a group just kind of locking arms and, you know, doing our best to right this ship and get things going in the right direction, practicing the right way, preparing the right way, going about meetings the right way, you know, and kind of just, you know, sticking to the plan, right? It's, you know, obviously early in the season, and I'm not going to be able to keep saying that for long, but it's just a day-by-day, game-by-game approach right now.